What's going on, guys? SmallGuard here, back with another video, and today I'm going to be giving you guys my brand new 6'4" point guard. Now, I know recently in my top 5 build video, I did just give you guys another brand new 6'4". With the 6'4" I'm going to give you in today's video, it's going to be even better. So make sure you guys watch right until the end of the video to see where I put my cap breakers and what build specialization I use, along with the 2 different versions of the build I'm going to be showing. I'm going to show one version of the build with no strength, and another version of the build that's going to have a decent amount of strength. So make sure you guys watch the entire video. Let's go ahead and get 2,000 likes on the video if you guys want my brand new and up and coming guard academy and future builds I have coming out as well. If you're new, go ahead and hit that sub button, hit that like button, and turn on post notifications. I hope you guys enjoy the brand new build, and let's get right into the video. Now right here, getting into my brand new 6'4" point guard build. You're gonna go position point guard, height 6'4", weight 201, and wingspan 6'5". Now right here, starting off with our finishing, you want to go with a 68 close shot, a 75 driving layup, and 83 driving dunk, a 31 standing dunk, and a 40 post control. Now with our 83 driving dunk and our 80 vertical, we're gonna get posterizer on bronze. But when making a 6'4" point guard, your goal is to get a 98 3-pointer and a 93 driving dunk. So with our 83 driving dunk on this build, we're gonna use 3 cap breakers to go from an 83 up to a 93 driving dunk. And you may be wondering, how are we only gonna use 3 cap breakers and go from an 83 up to a 93 driving dunk? And that's because in NBA 2K26, you can use 1 cap breaker and can be worth up to 2 or more attribute points at once. So with the way I made this build, 1 cap breaker is gonna be a +4, another one's gonna be a +3, and another one is gonna be a +3 as well. And that is gonna go ahead and give us our 93 driving dunk. And also with our 93 driving dunk, we're gonna get posterizer on gold, and we're gonna unlock contact dunks as well. Now moving on to our shooting, you want to go with an 83 mid-range, a 93 3-pointer, and a 68 free throw. Now on all my point guard builds, I'm always gonna pick the shooting specialization, unless I'm going for a 99 3-pointer. On this build, we're not gonna be able to get a 99 3-pointer, so we're gonna use our shooting build specialization. And in our shooting specialization, we're gonna get a max +1, a max +2, and 2 cap breakers that we can use on any shooting stat. So with our 93 3-pointer, we're gonna go ahead and use 3 cap breakers to move it up to a 96, and then we're gonna use our 2 cap breakers that we get from our shooting build specialization to move our 3-pointer up from a 96 up to a 98 3-pointer. Now with the 98 3-pointer, we're gonna get all our shooting badges on Hall of Fame, except for 1 badge, which is gonna be set shot on legend. But the goal here is to get all our shooting badges on legend. And like I mentioned before, we're gonna get a max +1 and a max +2 that we do get from our shooting build specialization. So we're gonna go ahead and use our max +1 on shifty shooter to move it from Hall of Fame up to legend. And we're gonna use our max +2 on limitless range to move it from Hall of Fame up to legend as well. And we're still gonna need Deadeye to be on legend. So we're now gonna go ahead and use our crew tier 1 max +1 on Deadeye to move it from Hall of Fame up to legend as well. Now moving on to our playmaking, you want to go with the 71 pass accuracy, a 90 ball handle, and an 86 speed with ball. With our 71 pass accuracy, we're gonna get dimer on silver. But we're now gonna go ahead and use our tier 2 max +2 that we get from our battle pass to go ahead and move our dimer from silver up to Hall of Fame. Now coming down here to our 90 ball handle. A 90 ball handle on a small point guard is not gonna be too bad at all. But we're gonna need that 92 ball handle, especially on a small point guard, if you want all the good dribble moves. So we're now gonna use 2 cap breakers to move our ball handle from a 90 up to a 92. And with our 86 speed with ball, we're gonna get lightning launch on gold. And when using any small point guard, you're not gonna want lightning launch on gold, you always want it on legend. So we're now gonna go ahead and use our tier 1 max +2 to move our lightning launch from gold up to legend. Now moving on to our defense, I've showed you guys a bunch of different 6'4s in the past. And when making this build, I was very surprised to get this much defense on the build. We're gonna have a 71 interior, a 90 perimeter defense, an 85 steal, and a 62 block. With the 71 interior defense on a 6'4", no one is gonna be able to score on you in the paint if you do have good position. And if you think a 71 interior is gonna be way too high, I do have another version of the build where I put down my interior and put up my strength instead. Now moving down to our 90 perimeter defense. A 90 perimeter defense is only gonna give us challenger on silver, but we're gonna want challenger to be on gold and eventually on Hall of Fame. So we're gonna use 1 cap breaker to move our perimeter defense from a 90 up to a 92. And like I said before, 1 cap breaker can move an attribute up by +2 or more. But now with our perimeter defense being at a 92, we're gonna unlock challenger on gold. But with the perimeter defense on this build, your perimeter defense is gonna cap out at a 96. And with the 96 perimeter defense, you're gonna get on-ball menace on Hall of Fame and challenger on Hall of Fame as well. And that's why when you do get 2 more cap breakers, you're gonna use it on your perimeter defense to go up to a 95 perimeter. And like I said, with the 95 perimeter defense, you're gonna get challenger on Hall of Fame, but we're now gonna use at tier 1 max +1 to move our challenger from Hall of Fame up to legend. You're gonna need one more cap breaker to move your perimeter defense up to a 96 so you can get on ball menace on Hall of Fame. And coming down here to our 85 steal. Now, as you guys may know, in NBA 2K26, a lot of people are going with a very low steal. But in season 2, MygM already said that he's planning to buff steals. So by having an 85 steal, you're not gonna have to remake your build at all. When steals do get buffed, you're gonna be able to still have glove on silver and interceptor on gold. And coming down here to our 62 block. This is gonna be very important for any point guard build on NBA 2K26. You always want to make sure you're maxing out your block because jumping at your defender is going to give you even better contests. And being on a 6'4" with legend challenger and a high block, you're going to be able to contest a lot of shots. So make sure you go ahead and max out your block. And to go ahead and finish off the build, you want to go with an 86 speed and 83 agility, a 51 strength and an 80 vertical. Now right here, I'm going to be breaking down another version of the build that's going to have a higher strength. But in order to get that 73 strength, we're going to have to change around a few things. We're going to bring our driving dunk down to a 76. And this is going to be very important because if you do go lower than a 76 driving dunk, you're not going to be able to cap break your dunk up to a 93 dunk. And a 93 driving dunk is what we're going to need in order to get posterizer on goal. And with our 76 driving dunk, that's exactly what we're going to do. We're going to use 5 cap breakers to move our 76 driving dunk up to a 93. And the second change we're going to make is to our interior defense. We're going to move it down from a 71 down to a 49. And keep in mind, it's going to be up to you if you want a high interior defense or if you want strength on your build. But the reason you might want to go with the 73 strength is because we're going to get strong handle on gold and a movable enforcer on bronze. Then we're going to use our tier 1 max +1 to move our strong handle from gold up to Hall of Fame. And then instead of us using our tier 2 max +2 on dimer to move it up to Hall of Fame, we're actually going to go ahead and use it on a movable enforcer to move it from bronze up to gold. And this is going to be the reason why you might want to go with strength, because you're going to get 2 extra badges. And one more slight change you might see on the build is with our perimeter defense. On the first build I showed you in the video, the cap breakers on that build gave us the ability to go up to a 96 perimeter defense. But on this build, it's only going to give us the ability to go up to a 95 perimeter defense, which is going to be just fine because that's going to be challenger on Hall of Fame. So make sure you keep that in mind. Now right here, I'm going to go through where to put all your cap breakers once you make the build. As you can see, I chose the build with the 73 strength because, like I said when breaking down this build, I think by having a 73 strength and unlocking 2 extra badges is going to be better than having a 71 interior. But right here, as you can see, I put 2 cap breakers on my ball handle right away, so I can go ahead and get that 92 ball handle. And with my 98 3-pointer, I went ahead and used my last 3 cap breakers. And the 2 cap breakers you're going to get from your build specialization. But what you can do instead is use 1 regular cap breaker on your 3-pointer, and then go ahead and use the 2 cap breakers you're going to get from your build specialization to go ahead and give you a 96 3-pointer. And with the 96 3-pointer, you're going to get all Hall of Fame shooting badges. And then now you can go ahead and use all your cap breakers remaining on your driving dunk so you can have a good dunk and use this build right away. But the reason I did put all my cap breakers on my 3-pointer is because I'm about to get a cap breaker at level 22 in my crew and one at level 40 next season. And that is going to go towards my dunk. And then later on, when you're done cap breaking your dunk and your 3-pointer, then you can worry about your perimeter defense. A 90 should be good enough until you get everything done. And right here, this is where I'm going to put all my max +1s and max +2s until I get everything done. We're going to have strong handle on Hall of Fame and dimer on gold. We're going to have lightning launch on legend and a movable enforcer on gold. And with our shooting max +1s and max +2s, we're going to have shifty shooter and limitless range on legend. And with that crew tier 1 max +1, when I do get it unlocked, I will be going on Deadeye to make it legend as well. Now right here, these are going to be all my sigs. And for my motion style, I'm going to be using Jalen Suggs. And right here, moving on to the jump shot I'm going to be using, you want to go base Miles McBride. And for my release, you want to go pure Colin Sexton. For my release speed, you want to go 4 out of 4. And for my visual cue, you want to go 3 ticks right behind push.